Thank you for joining our today's webinar on advantage of using a version control system for your next project. I'm Sairan, working as a team lead EDA for Altair products here at GSAS Microsystems, located in Bangalore. Now, let us get started. This session is under recording. If anyone having any questions during the presentation or during the demonstration, please type your questions in the chat. We will discuss at the end of our session. Now, today's agenda, we are going to look at the need of version control and ways to organize and store your project versions, and how we can able to use the version control in Altium 365, followed by demonstration, and at the end we'll be having a Q&A. You are probably already familiar with version control, but you might be thinking to yourself, why do I need it? Version control is a way to store all versions of your edited documents, allowing you to return to any saved version at any moments. Let's consider two basic scenarios where version control could be useful. The first is making backups of your project file. Even with just 30 minutes of work on either the schematic or layout, you can make hundreds of changes. This could be a circuit creation, finding and adding components, or placing any other primitives. It would be a real shame to lose those 30 minutes of work. Work loss can happen for a number of reasons. You could lose power, or Windows could decide to do an automatic Windows update. Because of this potential of losing data, many people set up an autosave or commit to a version control system. But how often should you save? Do you set any autosave each half an hour, or synchronize your project with its copy on the server at end of each day? Now, a lot of people use PDM systems, which can be used to store design data. The second case where a version control system would be beneficial is when revisions and improvements are made in the project. Projects are never launched from version 1. There will always revisions or improvements made to the project after testing, even if everything works after your modifications. That's great, and you can start on production. But of course, there are cases where the board just does not work, and it's easier to revert back to a previous version rather than modifying the current version. So it always good idea to save your board revisions. Now let us discuss about ways to organize and store your project revisions. Intended for disaster recovery. So if your computer unexpectedly shuts down, you will have these files and you are able to store up to 10 versions of each file type. The other tool available to you is local history tool. The local history management system allows you to maintain history and track documents changes locally without the need for a version control system. And the approach here is to make a copy of files each time you perform a save, keeping the copies in a project history folder, and it does so for a specific number of days. This management system can also be used with the global repository location. These two tools are just tools for file backups. It is possible to track the project history using them, but it is not convenient, especially when you're working with a team on a project where several people can make changes to different files. So how can we track the history of changes made by different users as well as provide file storage? Well, to solve this problem, a version control system is needed. A version control system allows you to make commits that is actually capture the intermediate state of the project and save them to a server with the availability to view the changes made. This does a few things. For one, it greatly simplifies the teamwork because now you can have several people work on different files at the same time, all periodically saving their files to the server where they are immediately shown to all other project participants. You will have all the links stored in a single repository rather than on a local machine or network drive. This way, you can track the development of a project, showing who made what changes and when. Plus, with the version control system, you can always revert back to any region of the file. RTM Designer supports both external vector control systems such as SVN and Git, as well as internal solutions such as Altium 365. And when using Altium 365, you can immediately access to a version control system built into the Altium 365 platform. And once again, there are advantages of using version control system. They provide storage for intermediate versions, revert and facilitate collaboration, allow you to track the status of files within your entire team, and there is also ability to compare different regions of files. So once you have your project saved in a local repository, or otherwise you will probably at one point need to compare some files to one another, so you can understand what changes have been made between one version and another. Maybe at the time of commit there was a little to no information placed in the description of comment. The initial approach that our team uses is the storage manager panel. This panel allows you to work with both backups and version control systems. Looking at the storage manager panel on the left side of the slide, you can see all the local backups of the file selected from the above. In the project file section, if you select two of them at once, you can launch the comparison tool. When using external version control system, all the file regions can be displayed in the column on the left, and there will be also option to compare them with each other. When you run the comparison, the files will be opened and the differences panel will show all the differences. This approach to working with history and file division is not very useful. You will have to look for difference visually, and if you are using an Excel version control system, you need to have the skills to set up the manage a repository for all the team members. A simpler and better approach to version control is available through Altium 365, and one of the things that sets Altium 365 as a version control, apart from the other dedicated version control systems platforms, the part of Altium 365 is electrically intelligent. With other systems, you can save different file versions, but you won't be able to see what the difference are. Since Altium 365 has been designed by Altium for PC design, you have much more insight than any other tool, possibly cloud. You are able to view the project history available both in the web browser and directly in the Altium 365. All the project commits are displayed in the project tree or timeline, right from project creation all the way through to release files to manufacturing. Altium 365 keeps all detailed logs of the all changes made to a project, such as adding, removing, editing files, components, parameters, circuits, etc. Any revisions of a project can be opened and compared with any previous commit. You can clone into separate projects or you can revert to the project version. Version control in Altium 365. In addition to regular commits, changes are tracked via the MCAT system. So when working with the MCAT code designer, you will also be able to see those on the project history timeline. You are also able to see information when a project history revision has been cloned, as well as a link to the project. And for more detailed change tracking, there are some great options for comparing files. For now, you can compare schematic sheets of different revisions, Gerber files, and even a BOM comparator tool. And finally, the history timeline supports searching by multiple criteria by assign, document name, commit description, comments designators, the component designators, or even net names. Now let us have a look at the history, how we can take a backup and how we can use a version control, which is built into our container. Let us have a look with a small demonstration. Now I have opened the Altium Designer, and the current version of Altium is 2.8.2 and is the latest version. If your licenses is under subscription, I recommend you to update your license to latest version, and please uh, use the same. Now you can see here in the top right corner side, I have connected my Altium Designer to the workspace, Altium 365. And the workspace which I am having here is Pro workspace. We got standard Pro, and there is a new subscription plan also announced by Altium from September 1st. It is Enterprise, which will be sharing the information to you all soon about the Enterprise workspace. Now, before we discuss about the Western control system, let us have a look at the file history, storage, and the backup options available inside the Altium. Just go to preferences by clicking on this gear symbol, and if you go to the data management, we have got local history. If you enable this option, and you can use this global repository, automatically it will save your data. and a maximum of 10 days it will store your data, the local files in this location, and this location can be changeable. Another option, we have got a backup. Here also we have a backup option automatically when we enable this option, depend upon the time you set and depend upon the versions you set and this location, the tool will automatically backups the data every time in this time frame, a minute or 2 or 30 minutes, depend upon the time frame you set, you can able to automatically backups your data. And you have a version control system, which RTM having input version control support is available. And also suppose Git, as I mentioned. And also we have got version control support by using this RTM 365. Now, let us see how we can create a project with the version control enabled in the RTM 365. For that, go to File, New, it's a project. You all know this is the process where you need to create a project even for local storage as well. If you look at here, we have got three options: version control, which is local version control, and this is micro-system. These are in reach for cloud, which enables you to manage the data in the cloud. You can just give some name and can able to have the version control enable this for this project. And if you click on create, a project will be created with the version control enabled on the RTM 365. And you can just start adding the project schematic sheets and PCB sheets, and then you can be able to manage the same in the server with the version control enabled. Okay, now let us pull a project which is already managed in the RTM 365 with version control, and then we'll see just what all options are available, which we have discussed during the presentation. I'm opening this project which is already available in the RTM 365 Cloud Workspace, which is showing here under the Cloud Workspace, and this green tick mark denotes this local copy as well as a cloud copy. Both are in sync. This green tick mark denotes what other changes have we done. We have to save locally. After once the save is completed, then we have to commit the changes to the server, which I will showcase you in the few moments. Now, if you want to see this project in the browser, you can just go to here, showing the browser, you can go to directly see in the browser. And before that, I want to show you if you want to add any project which is locally created and you want to add the version control, we have option here, add project to the version control. This option is grayed out. Why? Because this is already a part of the version control. This denotes the other part of the version control. That's why the option is grayed out. Now, as this is an item 225, we can directly uh, view the files in the browser. I need to sign in. Yes, it's a automatically once you sign in, it will automatically take to the space. We can see here we have schematic sheet. If you click on the component, it will display the properties of the component description, supplier part number, pricing, and other information, component footprint information, component location, which side it is, and the supply information. So if you go to the PCB, it will cross probe to the PCB also. We can see where it's been decided on the PCB in 2D, and also you can able to visualize the same in the 3D as it is on the bottom side of the PCB, and in the BOM also you could able to it will be highlighted. Okay, and we have another interesting thing. We have got the history panel over here. This history panel will have the all the history of the project from the starting to end, which will help you to keep a track of your design data. As if you want to switch back to the previous version, if you are part in the version control by using this history panel, you can easily revert back to that, and you can see here this files are got added. If you see the plus symbol in green color denotes these files are being added to the project. And if you see here, there is a kind of red color, yellow color symbol denote there is a shift in the board size, but there is no kind of addition or deletion of the data. And if you see here also, the pink color denotes there is some changes in the BOM, but the file is remains same. And here this pink color boxes denotes this has been push to the MCAD tool by using the MCAD code designer. There are some suggestions received from the tool. And here also we have some changes happened in terms of component is been addition, and there is some placement change happened by this component. Okay, you can see here we have a complete history. We have got a product has been released. Here we are in this particular date, and here there is some removal of component by name R12345. In this particular revision, it has been committed. That's why it is showing in red. That means the component is deleted from the particular sheet. Okay, like this, we can have the detailed history of your project, who committed at what time, the time frame, and what is the modifications has been done. You can able to easily see. And also we have seen here a project is being cloned. That means if you want to take a copy of this project, you can also take a copy. You can see here at this particular time, this project is being copied and renamed as a bomb for some analysis on the bill of material. The same history you can able to access from here as well by right clicking on the project name. Just go to history and version control. You can go to this option called show product history. It will display a complete history like you see in the browser. The same thing we can able to see it here. And as I told, if you want to see the product what is being released, you can just click here and you can able to open a snapshot. It will automatically open this particular project. Here, see here, this particular version you want to open. If you click on snapshot, it will open a snapshot of the particular project revision here. And also, if you want to compare this particular project released schematic data with any previous version, or with any selected commit, that means any sheet which is earlier or after commit, you can able to select the same. And if you want to really see the releases, if you go to the browser, you can able to really see we have got two releases has been done here. If you click on show files, if you click on open, it will open in a new window. Here it will show the all the preview of your design, and you can see here this is a snapshot of the PCB 3D and the layer stack information, and this is the design files, and this is the control files, and this is the trim file, and the you can fill the other files. You can do have a look of your files here in the Altium 365 itself without having any Altium viewer installation. You can able to review the same inside the Altium 365. Now, other option we have is, as I told, you can able to easily clone this project. If you want to make a copy of this project like this, you can able to clone this. And if you want to revert back to the previous version, suppose I don't want this version, I want to go to this particular project, I can just click on this revert to, and I can will get options here. Yes, you want to modify. If you say yes, it automatically revert back to the previous version. Okay. Now let us go ahead and do some modifications and see how it will show it in the HCL panel. Now I'm going to do some modifications. I'm going to delete this particular component R4. Okay, and I'm going to save this. Once I save, it is showing here a red color circle. It denotes, if you hold the mouse on it, it will show it's been modified and not saved to server. That means locally storage is local save is happened, but it had to store in the cloud. That means you have to, if you click on the save to server automatically, it will synchronize the server. Now we'll go to the PCB and we'll just import these changes to the our PCB and go to design, import changes. See here, R4 is been getting removed from particular point and its ground is getting directed. See, this is the information it is been showing here. Now click on execute changes, click close. We need to go back, go to the bottom layer because the component R2 is in the bottom layer. If you see the close look at this particular point, if you see here, this particular component is R2, and let me make this particular layer enable. Yes, it's been enabled. Yes. We go to the bottom layer. Yes, this is R2 because purposely that is being hidden. Yes, this is the R2. I'll show you 3D. Purposely, it is being disabled for security purpose. Okay, this is R2. This is the component R2, and this is where the component has been removed in between these two. Compared here, this it is showing short here. Just we need to do the short, and we need to delete this one, this tag, which is uh, addition of this. See, now it has been completely uh, shorted. Let us, sorry, something deleted, polygon got deleted. Now it has been properly directly connected to the ground, to the R2 register. Okay, now let us save this particular changes what you did. And once saving completed, now we just click on save to server. Once you are saving the server, give some roads which will help. Just give some notes which will see what documents are modified and committing to show you it won't update everything. Only what documents are getting notified, those information will get updated. And if you want to compare, you can able to compare from here also by this option. Click OK. Now it's been synchronizing the local changes to the cloud. And this green tick mark denotes this has been in sync with the cloud. And we'll go back to the history. And if you go down some area to see, it is saying it's been reloading. Now let us click on refresh here. See, it asking refresh. Now let us click on refresh to get the data here. You can see this comment what I did is been showing here, and now it is getting the differences what you have did in the version control. Yes. Before that, if any having any questions, you can put your question in the chat until it get the report is generated. We can able to discuss. If anyone having any questions in the version control and issue of Altium 365, please type your question in the chat. We'll discuss. In the meantime, it will get generated. This is a part of subscription Altium 365, which enables you to manage your data in the cloud with version control enabled. And we have got three plans. One is standard, one is pro, and one is enterprise. The enterprise plan is recently announced by Altium from September 1st, which we had to get this some technical details and pricing. Standard subscription enables you to have the workspace, Altium workspace. Along with that, we'll be getting the upgrades, support for the Altium Designer 2 and Altium 365 cloud workspace, which enables you to manage your data in the cloud and you can store your components. In the Pro subscription, includes the Altium 365 standard features. Apart from the Altium 365 standard features, in Pro, we will get the component management in the cloud with the component templates. And also, we'll be getting the IHS market supply chain intelligence inside the manufacturer part set. Whereas in the standard subscription, you will get the Octopart lifecycle status, verified status. If you have the Pro subscription, you will get the IHS market verified supply chain intelligence, which is a part of the Pro subscription. The enterprise, which we are will be sharing the details soon about the enterprise workspace. Still, it is taking time. Let me again refresh. Yes, now it's been updated. By seeing here, you can see a particular component is been removed. By seeing this red color sign denotes it's been removed. This net has been removed, and there are the few modifications done in this project. Okay, these are the things which you will have to easily track the changes, addition or deletion of components. You can easily track here. And if you are not happy with the result, you want to go back to the previous version, you can just click on this revert to previous commit, just click yes. Automatically, it will revert these changes back to the previous commit and you'll be asked to commit the project again once it is done. It is doing the process. Let us wait. Once we'll get the message pop up that reversion is completed. Mhm. I said yes. Yes. Just a second. Let me reiterate. Surprising, it is not going back. I'm sorry. I think I did a mistake. I'm sorry that I should select the version which I want to revert. I'm doing it uh, this one because this is the one which we have already did. I should select this one then so that the project will go back to the this particular version. This is my mistake. I'm really sorry for that. Okay, now it's been reverted back to the previous send, then can save to server and then see what the modification has been done. Click OK. The modifications will get in sync with the cloud data. To go to here and you just see here is there what is the modification has done. It will be shown here or just click here to refresh so that it will get the revised information here. This is how you can easily track the history of your project data and you can clone and you can compare and you can revert back to the previous version as per your requirement. Yes, this is all about the advantage of using a version control system for your next project. Here in this today's webinar, we discussed about the how you can auto save a project, how you can backup. And we have discussed about the advantage of using version control and we discussed about the version control enabled in the Ultim 365 and how you can manage, how you can have the history of the project, how you can clone, how you can uh, compare the schematics and how you can release your data, carbon data, project data to the Ultim 365. You can see the release data. And we had a look at how we can revert back to the previous version if you are not satisfied with the changes or output of the project. Now,